Bueno, le damos la bienvenida a todas las personas que empiezan a unirse a este webinar informativo en la tarde de hoy, 29 de enero del 2025, en el marco justamente de nuestra convocatoria del programa Crédito Beca y también de todas las sesiones informativas que estamos desarrollando en relación a nuestros convenios con las diferentes universidades del mundo que ofrecen becas del 100%. El día de hoy, como lo pueden observar, estamos con la Universidad de Waikato, ubicada en Nueva Zelanda. Este es, sin duda alguna, un espacio fundamental y esencial si el proyecto académico y profesional que tienen contemplado está en llevar a cabo una maestría o doctorado en esta gran institución académica y en este maravilloso país. Así que la invitación desde el inicio es a que por favor dejen todas sus inquietudes y todas sus preguntas en el cajón de Q&A para estarlas resolviendo a lo largo de este webinar. Mi nombre para todos es Karen Martínez, yo soy profesional del área de consejería académica y relaciones internacionales en Colfuturo y me encuentro muy bien acompañada el día de hoy con Simon Duffy. Él es representante de la Universidad de Waikato y nos va a compartir información fundamental, temas como hospedaje, opciones de financiación, recomendaciones, oferta académica, todo lo que ustedes necesiten, él nos va a ayudar a resolverlo, así que por favor aprovechen mucho la presencia del representante en esta ocasión y en este espacio. Adicionalmente, y como se los comenté al principio de la sesión, les quiero recordar a todos que Colfuturo tiene un convenio con la Universidad de Waikato. Muy resumidamente les cuento, consta de una beca del 30% en un Master by Coursework y en un Master of Philosophy. Para estudiantes de doctorado ofrecerá una beca del 100% si cumplen con los requisitos para los Domestic Fee Status y los estudiantes que inicien un Master in Philosophy recibirán un 30% de descuento y una vez pasen al doctorado va a convertirse en una beca del 100%. Como lo pueden ver y como ya lo escucharon, la Universidad de Waikato y Nueva Zelanda en conjunto tienen muchísimos beneficios, muchas experiencias por ofrecernos, así que aprovechémoslas al máximo. Una vez más, les recuerdo dejar todas sus inquietudes y sus preguntas en esta sesión para que Simon nos ayude a resolverlas. Para no dar más preámbulos, Simon, thank you so much for being here today with us. We are so happy to have you here in this session. So you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Gracias. Thank you, Karen. Buenas tardes and hello, everyone. It's also good afternoon from New Zealand, but we are one day behind. One day ahead of Colombia. So it's great to be here today and to discuss and give you a presentation on the University of Waikato. And we can talk about a bit of New Zealand as a study destination and our partnership and our work with Colfuturo as well. So I will just share my screen and then we can get the presentation. I have starting off with a short video as well. So I'll just get the thumbs up from Karen, that's all working?
Yes, that's perfect.
Brilliant. Yeah. So we'll start off with a short video. Right, okay, everyone. So I thought that's a little entry video into our beautiful country, which is New Zealand, and all the exciting attractions and the natural wonders which surround our two main campuses here in Hamilton and Te Ranga. So starting off with a big kia ora, which is our Maori language for welcome to the presentation. It's great to see quite a few of you joining us today, and those who are considering studying with us at the University of Waikato, and indeed thinking about studying in New Zealand. So hopefully I'll have lots of information to provide you today, and of course take your questions and answers towards the end. My name is Simon Duffy. I am the regional lead for South America, so I have the privilege of looking after our newly arriving students from Colombia, but also across South America and Central America. I'm be back in Colombia in a few weeks. I'll be in Bogota, so I'm more than welcome and more than happy to meet up with any of you for a coffee, for a famous Colombian coffee, if you would like it as well. So I just want to start off then with a background to this incredible country. First of all, I think it's important to note some important statistics, which is we are an incredibly peaceful country here in New Zealand, fourth safest country in the world, actually, apart from the Global Peace Index. You saw in the video, and there'll be slides and pictures throughout the presentation of stunning landscapes. It is a truly beautiful country. I'm lucky. I look out of my window and I see the landscapes, and it is truly remarkable. We are a very proud country of our indigenous culture, so our Maori, which is the first people of New Zealand, and it's really forged a sense of multiculturalism, of welcome, of respect for all people of different cultures and of different nationalities. And we're a happy bunch, so 10th happiest country in the world. So you'll find many smiling faces and friendly personalities when you arrive here. So similar, I thought it'd be good just to go over some topics of why choose New Zealand. There's lots of study destinations for you. There's Australia, there's the United States, there's the United Kingdom. So why New Zealand? So first of all, just what I mentioned earlier is we are incredibly welcoming of international students and new residents. You might pick up from my accent. I don't have a Kiwi accent. I'm originally from the UK, from London, and I moved here around 2 years ago now to work here at the university. And it's truly been the best decision I've ever made, and I've met some incredible people here, made to feel right at home, and I'm sure and confident that you will be also. It's a very multicultural country, just over 5 million people, but I think nearly a quarter of the country was actually born overseas. So it is, very open-minded in that sense, so very culturally and racially diverse. Also, you'll see some important stats there. Despite being a small country, New Zealand was voted third in the whole world in the world for preparing students for the future. And you'll see that as the slides go on, we really are preparing you for your chosen career paths, where you want to go following your whether it's master's or it's a PhD that you want to work with us on, and it's really embedded in everything that we do. We lead in global surveys for graduate employment opportunities. So we at the university have an over 90% employability rate for our graduates. So really strong, connections there with industry. And also New Zealand is, especially at the moment, very generous with post-study work rights. So for example, if you came and studied the majority of our master's programs here at the university, you would get 3 years post-study work rights for doing so. And it's also easy to bring partners and children. So again, it's giving that idea that New Zealand really is a welcoming sort of country. While we're all here as well with our partners at Call Futuro, I just wanted to mention the discounts that you receive on your tuition. So it's 30% discount off your master's programs for those up to 1.5 years, which is nearly all of our masters. And that can be either by coursework or by research. And then we have a complete tuition fee waiver for those who want to come and do a postgraduate, a PhD with us. New Zealand's very open to the PhD area. So we expect international students to pay domestic, or what the tuition fees that New Zealand citizens would actually pay, but with Call Futuro, you wouldn't even pay that. So it's a very generous schemes here. So where are we? So when you find New Zealand on the map across the Pacific from Colombia, you'll see that we are located on the North Island. So in the red there, you'll see we're based in 2 campuses. I'm here in Hamilton, which is our main hub, it's our main campus. And also we have a campus, Taronga, which opened in 2019, where you can also do a number of fields of study. So we are just an hour and a half from the big city of Auckland, great location, which I will go into now. So why choose Waikato? So the experience here is that we are a growing university. We are one of the largest now in New Zealand. We have around approximately just 12,000 students, with around 2,000, actually it's going to be around 2,500 international students this year. But despite our size, our growth at the moment, we really pride ourselves in our small class sizes, which means you as a new prospective student, you'll have greater interaction with our incredible academics and support staff. You know, there's none of these pictures of auditoriums with hundreds and hundreds of people in them. Generally, lectures have between 20 and 60 students, tutorials, labs, 10 to 15. So you've got a real personal connection there with your peers, your other students, but also your academics. So the region. So Hamilton, it is the 4th most popular city here in New Zealand, or Aotearoa. And it's, as I mentioned previously, it is just a 1.5-hour drive from our biggest city of Auckland. So this is an area what we call the Golden Triangle of New Zealand, where you are really close to, it is the center of the economic output of the whole country, where it drives most of the economic growth, the jobs as well. So it's a really prosperous place to be located in. I've mentioned how, you know, open-minded and how vibrant and friendly New Zealand is in general is, but also Hamilton, as it is a quite student-focused city. So it has slightly a younger average demographic than New Zealand. We're also, and it's important as a prospective student of ours to look at the cost of living. We know that's very important when you decide where you want to study. And it has an affordable cost of living. So, you know, in New Zealand, like most countries of the world, the big cities, rent will be higher, maybe some food, transport will be higher. But actually, we here in Hamilton in particular, we have the lowest cost of student accommodation in the whole of New Zealand. We're on one campus, which I'll show shortly. So there's you know, you don't have to be getting trains or buses around. So everything is very centrally focused, helping to minimize costs. And it's a mild temperature. I've heard it's quite chilly in Bogota or in certain parts of Colombia at the moment, but we're in summer, so it's around 25 degrees here today. So it's a nice temperature. Never gets extremes. We don't have, you know, general, you know, very cold or very hot sort of days. So it's a quite pleasant climate. I thought I was going to get some pictures in as well. So this is the College Green, and my office is, if you see the big building in the background, the top glass in the right-hand corner actually is my desk. Well, I'm located in there. If you arrive and you want to come and say hello. So a bit about our campus. So we are just a 10-minute drive from the city centre of Hamilton. It's all one campus. It's actually the largest one campus in New Zealand, 65 hectares. So very luscious. It's very green. We've got lakes. We've got fields. But everything is in walking distance. So yeah, as I mentioned, limited need for any public transport. We have 4 halls of residence, a performing arts centre. The picture that I have there is of our brand new The Par, which is our our hub really here on campus, where students can come and get a coffee, they can study, meet friends. It's also home of our Maori and Indigenous Studies division as well. So truly remarkable building built in the traditional Maori culture. And then also we have our Taronga campus. So this is brand new. Well, it still feels brand new whenever I go up and visit it. It opened just before the pandemic, so in 2019. And you can study a lot of qualifications. Some you can't, so maybe more laboratory work around you know, healthcare, education, you will need to stay in Hamilton. But A lot of it business, art, marine, because obviously it's on the coast. You can study at our Taronga campus. That is what we call the Mount, which is a beautiful part of the country. It really is. The water is that turquoise and the sand is that white in real life, I can assure you. So it's again, a stunning part of the world, fifth largest city, just behind Hamilton and growing quickly as well. So I've given the intro to New Zealand, to our campuses. I'm sure you've got lots of questions. Why choose us? Why study? So a bit of background, we are a comprehensive university here in New Zealand. So what I've done is I've given a list of all of our different faculties and schools of study. So I'll go into a bit of detail on a few of them because we are leading in those areas in particular. So engineering, our School of Computing and Mathematical Sciences, also celebrated a milestone birthday recently, and also our Waikato Management School, Faculty of Law, Health. So we are comprehensive, but as I move on to global rankings and our reputation, we don't, we're not successful in just one area or, in a particular field. We specialize in a real comprehensive area of academia. So we know it's important when you're deciding where you want to study is where we stand globally on our reputation. So with the QS World Rankings 2025, we're currently 235 in the whole world and #1 in New Zealand for research. And that's measured by citations per faculty. So we are a small country, but we do punch above our weight, I think, in our academic research. And as I mentioned about being comprehensive, you will see by the rankings per subject, we have a variety of subjects there in the QS rankings that was done last year. So just some key overviews of where we stand there in the ranking. When I look then down to individual schools and divisions, again, I just want to mention the Waikato Management School is in the top 1% in the world of business schools. We are Triple Crown accredited since 2005. So that's really an international benchmark of excellence. So you should be assured if you want to study any business or commerce related fields, you are going to get a world-leading education here that will set you up for success. I put another example there as a School of Engineering. We are internationally recognized via the Washington Accord, which again is like the gold standard of engineering teaching. And we have a variety of endorsement areas, whether it's mechanical, software, civil engineering as well. And I put up a few global accreditation bodies as well. So if you're coming to study accounting or psychology or law, we are again accredited to various other international bodies, which shows the level and the quality of our teaching. I just want to touch briefly, I know it's an important area for a lot of students now going in this area is sustainability. And as you would have seen from some of the videos, New Zealand takes its natural environment extremely seriously. So we are really big on whether it's recycling, it's keeping our waters clean. That's why, the sky is such a crisp blue because of lack of pollution. But we do take quite, we're very proud of our measures in the sustainability area. And that is, again, through our rankings and reputation with sustainability. So we are in the top 100 globally for universities on our QS sustainability rankings. And we also score highly on the impact, the Times Education impact rankings as well. Just some more statistics there for you. And then just some examples of what we do here on campus. It's like bring your own coffee cups, drinking bottles. We have community gardens, generating solar power, recycling. So we're just, it is an important part of Kiwi culture, but also here at the University of Waikato. So I just wanted to maybe talk a bit about if you come and study with us, if you are thinking about on-campus accommodation or private, obviously you can choose what you would like to do and just some price information really. So, and we do guarantee accommodation for our international students. So if you're coming here as a master's student, then you will certainly be able to get a room on campus. Every room is private. Some buildings you might have to share a bathroom, which is quite normal on college campuses, but yeah, you will always have your own room. And these are some prices here. We do self-catered and also fully furnished. So depending on if you're a good cook, you might want to do self-catered. But I just want to stress as well, these prices are in New Zealand dollar. So when you look at it, for example, the College Hall, their number 5,100 NZ is actually around 3,700 US dollars. So the one up at the moment, it's not good for us here in New Zealand, but the strength of the New Zealand dollar keeps going down against the US. So I think that gives, especially students from Colombia and from the Americas, a bit more punch with your money. And then just some more examples there. We also have our campus accommodation in Tauranga as well. You can I'll briefly mention, there are other options for accommodation. You can stay with us on campus. So those options I had previously, where you are 5 minutes from your lectures, from the library, from all the different university services. But of course, you can rent independently, flat with some of your friends that you meet. So I'll put some options here, some websites that are quite interesting to get some information, but we have our dedicated web page as well, and that's at the bottom. Just search for accommodation on our website. I just wanted to also touch on, that's actually a mural on campus around the corner from my office. So we have some great artists here at Waikato. And I know it's important when you are moving so far away from home that there are support networks and services to make sure that you've not just survived, but you flourish here at the university. So we have numerous different options here on campus, whether it's the student centre, cultural faith support, career development services. I really do want to emphasize this. We have a suite of services for students, international and New Zealand students, which are preparing you all free of charge. It's part of your tuition. They are getting you ready for your careers, and they're understanding what you need to do to, once you graduate, once you complete your studies with us, that you will go on and achieve incredible things. So whether it's helping getting your CV ready, a LinkedIn profile, we host job fairs, all these services are complimentary and available to you on campus. And then we have mental health services, pharmacy, a medical centre. A whole suite of incredible people here to support you. If you do come and study with us at a master's level, you will be entitled to a free airport pickup as well from Auckland Airport. The majority of you will fly in there if you're joining us. And we have whether international orientation, we have trips that I will show some pictures towards the end of the presentation, clubs, sports. So trying to give you a overview of just so much that's going on here on campus. I just want to talk quickly about English language requirements. So the university is actually quite diverse in what they take in or what they accept for English language. Of course, we have the big one, IELTS, which many of you will be familiar with, and the entry requirements are there on the screen for undergraduate and postgraduate. But also I want to bring out that we also take Duolingo. So you can do the Duolingo English test, the DET, which is very cost effective. It's only 65 US dollars and results can be in just 2 days. So I would recommend that. Also, if you are wanting to apply with us, reach out to me, and my colleagues at Call Futuro can also reach out to me as well. We have special vouchers which would waiver the $65 fee if you're applying to us. So let me know. It's a great way to save some money. Just some entry requirements here. I won't go too much into this because Call Futuro has its own system. But yeah, for postgraduate, it's relatively straightforward. It's just, a BB average. Or some qualifications do require you to have knowledge in that field, especially when it comes to teaching, health, for example. But in general, nothing too difficult. So I'm just going to round off now on some of the slides with trying to lure you in and show how incredible this country is. That's my front door. Joking. It's not. It's Hobbiton, which for any of you that watch the movies Lord of the Rings, it's around a 45-minute drive from campus. And we offer a free trip there as part of your welcome. So you'll be able to go and visit the Shire, as it's called. And visit the movie scene there. And then just a bit more about the local area. Hamilton Gardens is, again, around a 15-minute walk from campus. and it's won accolades and awards around. And then just really embracing the Kiwi lifestyle. It is a safe, it is a healthy place to live. And especially if you enjoy the outdoors, you like getting out, doing sports, it is really a breathtaking place. And so I've put some pictures, fish and chips. Me and my New Zealand colleagues, we do have a joke to each other. They think that's a national dish. So being from the UK originally, we have a bit of sparring match about who who brought that. But it is just giving you some photos here. And then that's actually the Balloons over Waikato. It's a festival which takes place every March, so it's going to fast approaching. If if you're around in this period, and it's especially with the lack of pollution in the skies, it's truly a sight to be seen. And then that is a summary of my presentation. I've got some of my contact details. My number also is WhatsApp, so feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions as well. Obviously, follow us on social media. But yes, I'm really happy to take your questions. And Karen, if you're there, that's basically my presentation.
Awesome, Simon. Thank you so much for this valuable information. So, bueno, les quiero decir a todas las personas que están en esta sesión, están libres para poder hacer cualquier pregunta, por favor, no lo duden. Simon nos va a ayudar muy amable a responder cada una con toda la paciencia del mundo, así que anímense, hagan todas las preguntas que tengan. Y bueno, mientras tanto, Simon, maybe it's a requirement to have a minimum GPA that university accepts?
No, it doesn't. So we do everything on case by case. So I know the assessments are done differently in different countries. What I would do is, if you want to reach out to me with what your GPA is, it will vary based on the qualification that you want to go into. But we are quite accommodating. So I would say we don't have a minimum as say, because it will fluctuate based on qualifications, but definitely if you want to send over any information or what you want to study, I can find that out for you.
Thank you. Well, yes, we have a question. If I want to start studying in 2025, when should I apply to the university?
2025. Okay, so how it works in New Zealand is we have, depending on your qualification, your program, we have two big intakes a year, which we call them A trimester and B trimester, which is one is fast approaching, it's in February. So we're all action stations to welcome our new students. But also we have another intake in July. So we have a smaller intake in November, but that is more for some business related programs as well as accounting. So it's easy for me to say, so February and July. If you're wanting to join us this year, so let's say it's too late now for February, but if you want to join us in July, I would recommend 3 months prior, just so you have time to obviously get the application and get your student visa through in time. So trying to do the maths there. So July, so I would say by May will be a good time to apply.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, let's talk about work. It's possible to have a job meanwhile I am studying?
Absolutely. So New Zealand, I know I touched on the post-study work rights, but when you're studying in New Zealand, you can work up to 20 hours a week during your studies, but full-time during the holidays. So Christmas or Easter holidays, you can work as many hours as you want. But there is the requirement 20 hours. I would just mention, Karen, that New Zealand also has a very high minimum wage. So it's around 24, I think it's $24.25 an hour. And that's the legal minimum. You can't get paid less than that. So it's one of the highest in the world, actually, for minimum wages. And so that will hopefully be able to support your studies.
Okay, it sounds great. Thank you. Well, yes. Is there any problem if I travel with my family and New Zealand government offer any help?
So, first of all, if you are coming on a student visa, you are eligible. You can bring your children, your partner, and they can apply for their visas, and you can support, like, be their sponsor. So it's very welcoming or open compared to other countries. So when it comes to, let's say, access to healthcare, to education. So a lot of our qualifications are in demand, which means New Zealand needs expertise. They have a growing economy. So your children will, in most cases, get free schooling, so they can access the New Zealand school system. When it comes to healthcare, though, as part of your application process, you will have insurance. So you will be covered, but there will be, of course, some services that you won't be eligible to access. But in general, yes. Especially when it comes to education, your children will be able to study and you will get some health service as well.
Perfect. Yeah, it's possible to do an internship during the master's program.
Absolutely. So it depends again on your timetables and the program of study. A lot of our business qualifications, they pride themselves in having work-based learning, which is you will spend time as part of your master's program working with an employer. Often it's paid as well, which is an added bonus. But it is kind of part of the structure. If you look, depending on what you want to study, it'll be quite detailed on the website. Again, reach out to me if you've got any particular questions. But yes, a lot of the programs, they do have a time where you can do some placements as part of the masters.
Perfect. And well, the last question, maybe what candidates can do to improve their chances of being admitted?
Oh, sorry, Karen, say that again.
Okay, what candidates can do to improve their chance to be admitted in the University of Waikato?
Well, I look after South America, so I'm very biased. So we really pride ourselves. We have more than 60 nationalities now on campus. So we have people from so many countries around the world, including we have an increasing number of Colombian students arriving. So I'm very proud and excited about that. I would just say, really just highlight your successes, whether it's academic. Also, if you have been working, for example, many of you will have been in the workplace, add that with your accomplishments in your letters, for example. But also just, yeah, when you apply, have your documentation ready. So, have whether it's your English language certificates, your academic qualifications. They can just remember, people, they can just be scanned. They don't need to be verified at this stage. You can just take a picture on your phone and upload it to us. We only need to see the originals when you arrive. So yeah, just more information, the better. I would say just spam us with documents. And yeah, but we have a high acceptance rate, especially from South America, and I'm pushing there. So yes, that's probably the only thing I would say.
Okay, amazing. Well, we have okay, I have a message in the chat. I don't know if you can see that.
Q&A. Sorry, everyone. I don't use. I'm a Microsoft Teams person, so
Don't worry,
I
if you
haven't
want,
used
I can
Zoom for
read.
quite a while.
Don't worry. Look,
I can see it. I can see it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yes, right. Okie dokies. Yeah. It's a student that I met last year. Okay.
Okay.
Brilliant. Okay. Yes. Okay. I will. I'm taking a note. I know who you are. I will. I will reach out and to that academic that you're talking about. Yeah. Thank you for seeing me again, coming along to the event. So I'll reach out to that professor and see what I can do.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, Simon, thank you again for this amazing opportunity to share this information for all of our attendees. I really appreciate your time, your presentation, your disposition, and I really hope to find you in the next opportunity. Thank you so, so much.
No worries. Yes. Thank you for hosting me, and it's great to work with Confituro. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, I will be in Bogota in a few weeks. So please feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, any further questions, do reach out.
Thank you so much. Y a todos nuestros asistentes, mil gracias también por su participación y su interés en este tipo de sesiones. Los invitamos a estar al tanto de nuestras redes sociales y nuestra página web, donde van a poder encontrar muchos eventos más para todos. Mil gracias y hasta luego. Goodbye, Simon. Thank you.
Gracias. Bye, everyone. Thank you.